One. Maybe we'll put in some intro music. Dun 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 dun. Okay, everyone. 多謝大家收聽多謝大家聽我哋今年嗰個星期個三角妖夢。Welcome back, everybody, to our Triangle Splash.
Are we not supposed to do that?
Plus one.
係要咁做㗎
Yeah. So there's the usual. I'll be your host today, Angus, with Brian, Turbo, and today we got a special guest, Big Scarf Energy, avec class, Nathan Choi.
Yeah.
Representing Irish 23.
He's so prepared.
All right, so we'll kick things off with the first topic of the week. Name one player in fantasy that you didn't expect to have a slow start, but you know for sure that they'll bounce back.
嗱，呢個中文嘅 translation 係咩 ，Brian？
嗱，中文嘅 translation 就係話你預咗呢個 player 咧，就一開始已經
呢個球員啊，冇搞錯 player
多謝你 Nathan。
一開始打得好好啊，已經，但係咧佢頭而家打咗第六個禮拜啦，就冇你想象中嗰預料之中係打得咁好嘅。但係咧 ，even 到佢打得唔好咧，但係你都會好有信心，佢哋只不過係一個。
佢會彈翻嚟係咪？佢會彈翻嚟，
會彈翻嚟嘅。
你啲中文，我哋呢啲
好差喎！你中文唔得，你中文好差。
你半桶水噶嘛？
對唔住啊，Brian，其實頭先我特登擺你上台嘅。
唔緊要啊，企埋上去添嘛，唔使擺。
好，邊個先？
我先啦，
好，
我哋咁呢個球員啦 ，OK 就
呢個波有
係啦，上年喺個。NBA tournament bubble 裏邊咧就打得好好嘅，咁佢今年就一個 slow start 啦。So far 佢個 stats 今年就係 up to 今日咧就係 average 19.5 points 啦，4個 rebound， 4.4個 assist。咁咧佢就係 from the Denver Nuggets Jamal Murray。Yeah,
I love that pick。
咁因為舊年佢 bubble 打得好好啦。咁但係大家都好有 expectation， 佢會接住嚟今個 season 都會continue 啦，就會比上年或者 bubble 打得更加好啦。咁上年嘅 stats before the end of play 咧，佢係 average 26 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists 嘅。咁比起上年 end of play 之前 ，COVID 完咗之前咧，咁 obviously 啲 numbers 係低咗啲啦。咁但係亦都有好多因素會令到佢個 start 會 slow 啲，就係Michael Porter Jr. 啦，係 become 咗Denver 一個 kind of a third option 啦，that taking away some of his shots 啦。咁但係我覺得呢個 slow start 只不過係一個 anomaly 啦。咁但係因為佢有機會同Jokic 打啦，咁 he's basically one of the best bigs in the NBA and an early MVP candidate。So 有佢同佢成日都 pick and roll 啊，俾好多機會佢嘅時候，佢反彈係遲早嘅事咯。咁睇下大家認唔認同我嘅睇法咧？
我都覺得係嘅。Jamal Murray， 我覺得今年其實佢個 start 都有啲慢嘅，因為本來我都 expect 佢 explode。因為我自己點樣睇 fantasy 咧，就係當佢如果佢一個 playoff 有一個好 explosive、好爆炸性嘅 playoff 嘅話咧，佢下年基本上一定係會打得特別好嘅。即係我諗我好記得我第一次睇好似 Derrick Rose 黐咗線咧 playoff。基本上下年就變咗 MVP 咯。咁跟住我諗有好多人喺 playoff 度 break out 咧，都係一個好 candidate。Jamal Murray 唔係 playoff break out 咯，佢基本上每一年都係非常之 clutch 喺 playoff 嗰度。咁基本上我每一年都 expect 佢 become an all-star。He was the one-two punch，right？ 但今年我諗 Denver 都係以一貫性喺呢個常規賽嗰陣時咧，佢哋都係打得好隊友性嘅啫。It's very very team-like。So yeah, I agree with you, Brian. So somebody need to break a leg.
Nathan， 因為我知道 Nathan 喺佢個 fantasy team 入面有 Jamal Murray 喎，咁你對佢嘅 slow start 有咩睇法咧？
咁我係100%係絕對同意嘅，因為我係 draft 咗 Jamal Murray 嘅。咁我 draft Jamal Murray 其實都係希望，因為睇完喺個 bubble 嘅表現啦，咁就覺得佢應該係會繼續去移翻去 bubble 嘅狀態嚟一路打呢個 regular season 嘅。咁當然好似阿 Turbo 同 Brian 講啦，咁佢有少失望嘅，但係我絕對都係同意佢係會個 season 係一路打落去咧，佢係會打翻好啲嘅，同埋會打翻好似係 playoff 嘅狀態。 咁當然我覺得啲 games 係絕對當係認真打嘅時間咧，佢係會比較上 clutch 啲咯。暫時嚟講，我覺得佢唔係話太認真打。因為我唔知你哋有冇睇啦，2日前咧我唔知喺度揼人咯，我唔知你哋有冇睇到？
有。
係啦，
佢俾人 fine 咗添。
係啦，喺度攞啲都唔係攞同都唔甩個波都攞得唔啱嘅。
OK， 我哋加拿大人嚟噶嘛，我哋加拿大人其實都唔算揼人㗎啦。
哦，咁係。
You say sorry about it afterwards.
Yes, probably.
Angus, what is your view on it?
I feel like it's true with the whole after playoffs. 在打赢個 playoff, you expect them to continue the ride into the regular season. But I've always never liked Denver players because if you watch, like, their offense runs out of Jokic's hands. So like there are other players, kind of like my catfish of the week last week when I mentioned Gary Harris. 嗰啲 player 肯定唔會好大 number 嘅. So if these are like Jamal Murray's averages for the rest of the year, I wouldn't be surprised. So you have to be careful when you pick Denver players.
Yeah，
呢個英文就叫 hater 咯，我覺得呢個叫做。
要叫 realistic。
中文係咩？其實香港人好中意講佢 hater，不過
咁其實香港啊，
佢憎嗰個人啊，佢憎嗰個人啊。
係咯，
有偏見咯，對佢有偏見啦，特別中意佢咯。
即係我其實都知 Angus 係私底下揾過我想 trade Jamal Murray 嘅，咁其實所以我覺得喺呢度講咧係有少少奇怪咯，因為佢係同我講過係想要 Murray Brothers 嘅，即係要 DeJounte Murray 同埋要 Jamal Murray 嘅。
其實 Angus 佢係想 take the trouble away from you 啫，你睇下 Angus 幾好朋友嘅。
咁啊係咁。
I'm trying to tank his value right now.
佢想 buy low 啊。
Yeah.
Buy low.
That's right.
All right, let's move on to our next player.
Yep, Angus 你嚟啦，我哋
Sure, I'll go with
叫 Angus go.
Recently traded, now playing for the Houston Rockets. Houston 火箭隊 Victor Oladipo. So I have very, very big high expectations of Victor because I feel like he is potential all-star potential player. Recently, he looked pretty good with John Wall. 真係冇啲 ball handling 問題啦。Whereas like maybe with John Wall and James Harden, people would think that, James Harden would try to dominate everything. So I think they're a good fit with each other. Currently, he's at 20 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.4 assists for the season, but that's including his Indiana stats. So we'll see how things average out after a while in Houston. But usually people don't pick him for his scoring stats. Usually it's his defensive stats. 1.6 steals right now. We'll see how it continues. I believe he was at 2 steals in previous seasons. So we'll see if he can go back to that with Houston. And the biggest concern with Victor was that he injured his knee a few years ago and he was playing on a minutes restriction. So, but right now he's averaging 33 a game for the season. So clearly there's no restriction. So we'll see where it goes. I think with players that are recently traded, you never know like if they fit or they don't fit. So I think time will tell. But I'm excited to see how Oladipo does on the Houston Rockets.
其實我都覺得呢個 topic 其實好難去揾一個 player 係可以 fit 呢個 category 嘅，通常都係可能係surprise of the year 或者 breakout season 啦。咁其實好難，其實而家因為打咗6個星期咧，如果佢哋要嚟都嚟㗎啦，真係。咁不過我覺得 Victor O 喺 Houston Rocket 嘅 system 都有佢嘅作用，同埋佢會 become like a third, but he's still like the third option。所以我都係覺得佢同 Jamal 有少少似 ，Jamal Murray 都有啲似，都係因為佢哋都係 go around。It's going to be around John Wall. It's going to be around Christian Woods. So it's going to be tough, but his defensive stuff is definitely something that's going to be very impressive. And 佢個 minute per game 都會 go up 嘅，佢個 usage rate。咁所以我都覺得有可能佢會可以係 pick up 翻佢2-3年前嘅 pace 嘅。
An interesting thing to note is right now on Yahoo Fantasy, he's ranked the 107th player of the season. So for sure, it's not going to stay there. I'm predicting maybe it'll go up to like around 60, 70 at least. Yeah.
All right.
Terrible.
Nathan, let's go.
Me? All right. So the player, of course, I'm going to go with the player that I've drafted. I drafted him in the second round. He was expected to be in the teens, projected in the teens. Phoenix Suns, Devin Booker.
Ooh.
So for Devin Booker, let me take a look at the stats. So right now he's actually the 108th ranked player on Yahoo Fantasy. And similar to Angus talking about Victor Oladipo, I don't foresee him being in the 108th ranked player. His points are lower than his last year's points. He's at 22.9. I believe he was at 26 last year.
Yes.
And I would say one is injuries. And then another big thing I would say is with the addition of Chris Paul. Chris Paul being a more ball dominant player. So I think this is the first time Devin Booker has played with someone of an all-star level at the point guard position as well. So I think it is taking some time for him to adapt to not have his offense run specifically around him, and he actually has someone who can handle the ball. So I think he's just taking some time to get used to having someone who's a lot more ball dominant. And then if you saw him in the bubble where they went 8-0, I think you can see the performance is very, very different of this season versus his performance in the bubble.
我成日見到我覺得 Devin Booker 永遠都係一個 scorer 啦 ，puts up lots of points 啦。But what concerns me about him is 佢太過one dimensional，冇乜即係rebounding especially now with Chris Paul, like you said, running the show or having more of the ball in his hand，佢少咗機會做一個 playmaker。佢 more like okay, let's work from the post 先，之後就 go from there。即係之前可能多啲 assist 會，因為佢starting the offense， but 我會覺得佢太過有啲 one dimensional。
係咯，佢舊年都係試過 assist 係有起碼 double digit 咯，但係今年係最高對一個 game 都得7個 assist 咯。咁呢個好明顯啦，因為你加咗 Chris Paul 就
exactly yeah
呢個好正常，你覺得
yeah。
All right, Turbo, and your player。
係啦，咁我覺得我哋 so far 我哋做咗3個 episode 定4個 episode 啊？
呢個我第3個。
呢個第3個
episode 3。
係咯，我哋呢個咁長嘅 long history of 3 episode 啦，我哋未試過咧有一位英雄去同我諗法一樣嘅。咁我自己咧同你哋其中一位英雄個諗法都係一模一樣嘅，而嗰個咧就係輸人啦，就係 Booker。咁我自己基本上我睇嘅同 Nathan 都一樣，基本上如果我睇佢嘅 stat 啦 ，I'm just looking at the stat right now。咁喺上年咧，佢係 average 26分啦，4個籃板啦，6.5個助攻啦，同埋大概0.7個 steal 咁樣。佢個 clips of 3分係大概係35% with 2個 3 point made 同埋9個 field goal made at 48% 嘅。咁其實我再睇翻今年啦，其實我都 expect， 其實我覺得 second round is a pretty good value for Devin Booker pick 佢嗰陣時。咁不過佢今年就因為有 Chris Paul 個 ball dominant 嘅人啦。咁不過其實跟住我再睇翻啦。咁其實不過咧又好特別喎。如果你哋睇翻佢今年，我 screenshot 咗個 stat， 大家啱啱可以睇下，就會喺唔知邊度。大家睇一睇。咁咧其實佢今年嗰個shot attempt 咧係17個 per game versus last year which was 18, which was only like it's actually 0.9 here, 0.9 difference。咁其實而佢 3 point make 今年係仲 make 多啲，同埋都 attempt 仲要多大概0.4個 3 point。咁其實 in terms of putting a shot up， 其實佢係完全佢個 shooting having the chance to shoot and having he is pretty much going to be the first option on offense。So 其實最大嘅分別 so far 啦，我見到係佢個 free throw 咯。上年佢係 averaging 7.3個 free throw per game， 今年係得 5.3個，即係其實2個 free throw 係真係爭好遠嘅。咁其實佢而家再爭大概 5.3 分度啦， 5.7 分度啦，對上個 season。咁其實我都覺得佢係一個可以，即係佢係有多啲空間去進步啦。咁所以同埋佢今年 assist 今年其實 assist rate 係低咗一定㗎啦。不過咧最特別嘅就係 assist rate 低咗，不過佢個 turnover rate 又高咗喎。咁不過佢 steal 又多翻喎。咁其實都係打翻埋差翻一個波嘅啫。咁不過我諗我哋都係 expect 佢可能所以我覺得好難揀。其實 he's doing really really well right now and then the Sun has been winning。 So 我都覺得其實佢係有個 room 可以上去嘅，不過只係我 pick 佢嘅原因係因為佢 second round he's gone on the like first 3 pick or 4th pick in the second round， 咁你會 expect 更加多，因為佢 he's only 24 he's a really young baller so yeah expect him to pick up in scoring a little bit more。
其實我覺得因為大家都 expect 因為有 Chris Paul 嘅時候佢會更加 improve。佢 like you said 佢始終 24，but then 佢每一年都有進步。咁如果今年有 Chris Paul 去 sort of 帶住佢嘅話，可以更加 improve。所以佢而家嘅 numbers 係比我哋意料中可能差少少，咁可能仲有好多嘅進步空間。
冇錯。All right.
Well, baseline is all these players, even if they're not going to your expectation, don't worry about them. We believe that they'll bounce back.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break until the next topic.